Alright, we're here to start off the morning with a video. So I'm here to say that D Pride will eat their J. Cole, okay? Or J. Cole will get eaten by D Pride, alright? Now, the truth of the matter is, this video is about the autistic spectrum, okay? Because what you try to deny today was subconscious is, okay? Because I am a very high functioning, uh, autistic person. I have Asperger's, but the more important thing is, all right, I need you to break this up for this video. The entire USA relies on, full disability to fund something, okay? Your mother, every single mother, every mother in general, has half real money, half disability, okay? And the reason why that is, okay, this is why people aren't happy, all right? Because when you put two and two together, when you become these things like goth, pics and goth culture, all right, literally you escape autism. Because what you really figured out, all right, through, being goth, your mom and your dad not being happy, is that, you figured out that the way you grew up two and two together is the exact opposite of how the system works, okay? Why is my uncle there? To re-inflict autism, all right? And the reason why everybody's broke at 30, and the reason why nobody has real money at critical ages is because we have to stand up for autism. Well, I'm here to tell you something. Autism is a sloth. All right, there's a difference between autistic Lily that's a genius and autistic that's slow, and they only support autistic that is slow in society. All right, literally. So there is no such thing as talking shit. You don't give life meaning, okay? Because what I was doing throughout my entire YouTube channel, I have a very famous, YouTube channel outside the filter. All right, what my channel did was my videos explain that the video games that, we autistic kids used to play back in the day were actually progressing, going forward into, detailed research to the point where we were having actual fun, and it was intellectual fun. What you do with autism is that you don't allow them to be intellectual, when they're growing up in current ages. Like, you allow them to take, spankings in junior high, allow them to have a freshman, but don't allow, anybody to have a friend through and through. That's what I try to say. Literally, socializing is a thing, okay? It's not something that you just get into, literally, just to have fun, this and that. Literally, they know each other ever since they're little kids. It's called stranger danger, all right? Feeling somebody's, emotion is also part of, autism. I felt that. I've been through that, one time where I wanted to see all this cool stuff, all this dope stuff, but I didn't want to read somebody's, facial expressions. Now, in public school, I got, most anticipated relationships. The two girls, the two hot girls, but the principal of a relationship, literally, is going out, being outgoing, and playing sports lately. And what I try to tell people on the channel is to let go of things that are sticky and start doing things that are running and active, okay? And what that does, all right, is that lets you, eat mashed potatoes, and do socializing as a forest that have a misconception of socializing lately, where you get to dancing, with a skateboarder and he outsigns you, okay? Now, what this is, okay? Autism is, a form of a mental condition. Now, there is a genius aspect there about how much shit you put me through, how much you blame a gangster, how much this, and that. It can only make me recognize autism as a form of retardation other than, rather than a genius, okay? Because, what autism is, all right? Literally, it's somebody, being strong, without being trained, and without, with being repelled, okay? Now, the truth of it, okay, is that autism has weird habits, literally, like, eating, erasers, literally, spitting them out, literally, doing something, composed, okay? Now, reason why I say this is because they go all the way to defend autism. I know what it is. I read a book right now, and reading a book, put you way out 1/5 because when I started reading, I started recognizing that other people don't, which is a part of society, which is like catch 22. Like, you have all this, monotonous ideas, this, and that, literally, that aren't 1/5 to go above and beyond, that are, log elaborate like Lord of the Rings. But when you go over to a family, party, this is that, people start getting jealous, right? All because you picked up a book one time, right? That's a conspiracy theory. All right, literally, and I used to listen to a guy named Young Pharaoh saying that the reason why we're possessed is because we eat shit like meat, that comes out of an animal, and the animal's already possessed. But fuck that nigga. That's a part of the video I'm making with Digibro. All right, I've seen multiple boxing matches from him. That knows that he won the outsider. We have multiple punches in. Literally, he still didn't win. That's a part of the conspiracy theory with sports. Okay, now there's way more to get into it, okay? Now, what used to be understandable is that singers, why I have autism, why I'm such a good rapper. Let me tell you, literally, you have to have physical strength and get beyond it, okay? Because, the thing about autism is that they're lazy people, nobody's happy, this and that. Literally, and the fundamentals that actually make people are stressful. Like when your cousin Nicole, Noel, listens to good music, literally, it's a handicap because it goes hand in hand with situations. She's really, really fucking focused, okay? That's another thing, Every time somebody becomes a victim of domestic violence, all right? When they're a top football player, the mother says, still, focus, focus. It doesn't just have to be me, it's everybody who puts themselves in that situation, okay? Well, let me tell you something. How'd you put yourself in that situation? By calling out manipulation, by letting something go with your uncle. I've learned the biggest lesson today. Guess what I have to say today's video? You see how you're ready to let all the fake shit go with your uncle, Lily, how you're willing to die, how you're willing, Lily, to call police and not give a fuck about fake friends anymore? Guess what happened? Your life dragged on to a point where he embarrassed you. Oh, it's true. It's completely fucking true. Lily, that's what happens, Lily, when you don't own up to what you say. When I did own up to what I say, it got worse, okay? And guess what? Uncle Tommy Pippin be, all this shit literally is connected to people because people are so petty, people are so iron bound, literally all the way to a point where they have way more social pain than inside, like these, try hard to the Filipino community. And I'm telling you, that is the truth behind socializing, all right? It's a pay factor. What is petty? Wanting something small rather than big, okay? Well, what's big is ugly. They use that shit to regulate the population. Literally, that's why I'm saying if I was to go on, a date with Shannon and we're to see a really nice, theater and play, literally, you call out the autism. You call out this just to play. Well, me and Shannon know everything about. You know why? Because me and her just read a book, all right? It's true. It's really true. Autism stops us from seeing the brighter things of life, okay? That's the thing. And, that's the reason why, we had that post yesterday about, virtual reality. The reason why I got further into virtual reality was because, you left me kind of lesson. I'm going to spill the beans this video. I knew how to fight to the point where everything the world is this way, that way. That's like kind of lessons. You think that fun makes shit fun? You think that literally, me having something on top of something is fun, okay? Literally, think about it. Literally, it wasn't just like that with punching. It was like that with life, literally, because I felt the blood energy. I need to repulse that in and out. Literally, every single thing, literally, I had to go like this for Jasmine, really. Is the school year really worth it? And that's the thing about authority. That's why you work on society with no emphasis, okay? Now, that's the truth. Other autistic people than me are way more into video games. I mean, they're selfish. The more childish our actuality, but what does that do? Like, what Andre was doing when he was watching Fist or North Star, when he was doing grand shit, like, watching Bruce Lee, going farther into adventurous, not being addicted to pussy, because I'm telling you, pussy is a sticky thing. Literally, he's going out. Literally, that's what he's doing. He's supporting Sonny's angle. He's like, I want to do, the long, elaborate thing. I want to stand for like him because that's the dad, okay? And, and what they call out, and secretly why their uncle's envious is because, your dad's this shit, all right? Because what socialized got my caliber is, what comes to my knowledge of punk rock, and chiggery and shit, is that it's the more detailed, literally, of something going forward. Literally, how you survive in society is more proportion, and I have the best proportion going forward, okay? Now, you need to understand that, all right? You can't keep on putting this wool over my eyes, literally. So with high-functioning, autistic people like me that knows the in and outs, literally, like Shannon, it's how to literally slow autistic people all day just to make your country feel better. Get the fuck out of here. That's why they force you to be broke at 30, all right? It's true, really. That's why you don't have anything advanced until you go to the insane asylum, because how did you make doctors? Really, by ignoring properly shit, and I admit that, all right? But you're a blood gang when you read, and when you ignore shit, because what's reading for? Fucking nerds, and autistic kids, okay? Reading isn't for, popular people, this and that. That's why, it cuts everything in half. That's why popular controls your entire being, okay? And that's the truth of it. And that's why, Fortress is, legendary. That's why, we have to kill, the blood gang, because they want to hide behind stupid shit. I'm like, the reason why you don't want me to make my anime is so you continue playing the game in your head. Well, I just proved to my channel in and out that the game is illegitimate, all right? Things long dragged on. I already beat President Planet. We already beat all this shit. It's just dragged on at this point, okay? It's true. It's very fucking true. Literally, you don't want a real nerd to fucking surface. You want, a fake person. Literally, well, you already had Donald Trump as the fucking president, all right? It's stupid. The stupidest shit in the whole wide world. That's why you couldn't convince me, literally, while I was getting fucked up by my uncle when dead, because you just drive down to just living, okay? Now, if you want to hurry up, Literally, it just forwarded to mental health. I'm gonna give you a catch 22 because what I've been trying to tell these cops, for 24/7. Literally, I'm making a push with just like you. I'm doing what you're doing. I'm calling out disrespect just like you. Literally, so guess literally what I'm trying to tell you today. I may say all that shit. I may do this and that. Literally, but guess what happens when the cops come over? Eris, do you need help or something? All the games we play in your head, you're still gonna say the same shit. And literally, look at your bicep compared to mine. It's gonna be real fucking muscle. And then what's gonna happen? You're gonna call out what happened to his head. Okay? We need to stop this fucking game because there's somebody that makes sense versus somebody who doesn't, all right? For 1,000th time, all right? We know that video could be longer. You know that video could be longer, but there's no use in calling out disrespect. I'm telling you, literally, it just still doesn't literally doesn't matter for this situation because I already made up my mind. Literally, nevertheless, she had her job those years when you were yelling, okay? Literally. The same time you're young, she was going hard, all right? I'm telling you, when she's talking about focus, this is that she takes out the racism, takes out everything, because that's my mom, the Vario, the full Ontario to get the Megalodon, okay? Literally, and I don't care if all this is happening in the first round, because that's how you're coming at me. Literally, all the shit that he's doing, literally, should last for fucking 3 rounds in the second round, literally, because what can happen, literally, is the second round is that he can roast you, and he can make a final fucking result. In this round, you can play around, which is what the cops know, what the people in the studio know that I don't know, all right? So they're fucking around. Literally, when my life is no lie, guess why? Because I just have Asperger's, all right? I have to do everything in one fucking round, and I can't fucking around like you because my life is at stake, and I'm supposed to sacrifice my life for you, literally, and then it gets destroyed, literally, she drags on, all about a fucking ugly Mexican potentially give some good fucking to a gang. I can't take it anymore, all right? Literally, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Literally, reviving the beef between John Rule and 50 Cent has nothing on fucking India in their job. I'm telling you that, all right? Literally. And they called out my careers, they called out everything, and started to grow the fuck up. Literally, when I started, buying multiple video games and standard, just look at my kids. All my kids look like, white children that you see on fucking sitcoms, all right? It's true. That's why you need to let go. You need to, let the stir machine go. Literally, you need to recognize what happened, literally, because what happened was literally, I threw a hook, literally, you threw a hook, and my hook was better, you're still arguing, okay?